I'm Tom Mann. The other day I posted up a video on what my wife and we do during a power outage. Since we've had here a ice storm, a lot of folks in the area are still out. We have power back on now, but we didn't for quite some time. Wasn't a problem. I was able to heat. Not going to talk about that today, how I did that, but I was able to keep power going. And the key things I always think about are my phone, my iPhone, my iPads, devices to communicate with people. I think are the most important. The second thing is my refrigerator and freezer, keep those going. And we have ways of lighting with other devices, but also with these. Now, let me show you. A lot of folks have asked me about what I was talking about, and one friend said, can you keep it simple? Let me just try to keep it simple. You might have seen these before, these little bitty devices here. These are little called power banks, and you can plug, let's say, some kind of a USB plug here or whatever it might be that would plug into your phone, keep your phone powered in case the power went out, right? And I have multiples of these. Here's a bigger one I got years ago, and I use these to actually run my cameras when I'm out in the field, these things. So they work a little bit longer. They're really good. I have no complaints about them. My daughter got me another one recently, this one that actually has a solar panel, so it's kind of neat. It'll charge on its own, but it has multiple ways to charge. Or charge your phone, but these only go so long. They can only charge, let's say, your phone a couple times. However, this is the same thing, except it's more versatile. This is what I was showing the other day. It's called an EchoFlow River 3. This is often referred to as a solar generator or power bank, if you want to call it that, because it's basically advanced, or shall we say, sophisticated batteries and longer life than those little devices. These are what I use to keep things going. In fact, my wife and I have one each by our bedside, and they keep, for us, we have a sound machine going, keeps us asleep, and we power all of our devices. For instance, our iPhones are plugged into this. Here's my iPad. I have this charging right now, and it's about 74%. And because the output here, this little part, this is a USB-C port, which goes in the latest iPhones and iPads and some other devices. This has 100 watt, meaning, without getting too nerdy, it's very powerful. It'll supercharge something quickly. Also has other USB ports here. We use one of these to plug in our sound machine to keep things going. And if you notice over here, we have AC plugs. You can plug in AC devices. You can even plug in a CPAP in this. It has the ability to do that. They have another one called the EchoFlow River 3 Plus that you can add batteries, and that can keep one going forever. And they're not that expensive. This was under $200. I think you got it for 150 something, and I got it on a deal. Now, I know what you're thinking. I have a gas propane generator. Good for you, so do I. But gas is unstable, and when you run out of gas, let's say you're out for 3 days, you run out of gas, you don't have anything to power anything, right? Propane's better. I use propane. Mine's a dual fuel, and I can run the propane, but I can conserve that propane despite the fact I have a 500-gallon tank in the back. I can turn on that propane gas generator for 1 hour and charge this thing up. In fact, I can charge multiple ones of these up. This will run 10, 15 hours, and the propane, I can use 1 hour to recharge these devices because they can be recharged by an AC cable. How? Very simple. Right here on this side, pull this down, and there's a plug to plug the power cable in. It goes into the wall. Now I can keep this plugged into the wall using this cable, keep this device plugged into the wall, and when the power goes out, I don't even know it. It has a UPS, an uninterrupted power supply, so it means it in 10 milliseconds, it flips over, and your devices don't even know power was lost. So you can keep this going. This is one way to do it through a cord. Another way is, it comes with these cords, by the way. Here's another one using a different connector here called an XT60 without getting too nerdy. I can plug this into my car, take this with me, and power this, charge this, and keep devices going on in my car. That's another way. Here's the coolest way. I can use this same port right here, plug this in, and this is a solar panel that I got that came with it for just the same price on a deal. The solar panel has a USB-C port, so I can plug, say, a iPhone or iPad directly into it, and it will charge that in the sun. But all I do is I can plug this in, this little barrel connector, which goes into this device. And this is like kind of like a book almost. So let me unfold this for you. Set this thing out in the sun, and voila, we could charge via solar. And you can plug in any other kind of solar panel into it with adapters. Very simple to do. So what is a solar charger or one of these new power banks I'm talking about? You can charge these things up using AC, which can be coming from a generator very quickly. Or you can do it via solar, or you can do it another way, which happens to be by a car. Some of these can be charged up using an alternator in a car. Very powerful. So that's what this is. Again, this is the EchoFlow River 3. This is the lowest end that they have. And these have been on sale between $159, $179, usually under $200 for these. These are very, very, very good. I really highly recommend them. However, you say, so how do you keep your studio going? Well, right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras in the studio going. I have between 7 and 8 lights going, and they're all coming off of a battery power bank. Now let me show you how I'm doing that. You notice on the ground over there, that is called an EchoFlow, that's the name of the company, Delta 2 Max. It's 2 kilowatts. This smaller one here is only like 200 and under 250 watts of output power. That has 2 kilowatts, meaning 2K. It is basically 10 times or more powerful than this unit is. So that unit down there can power all of my lights and then some. I can actually run a microwave off of it. I can run coffee makers. I can reach major appliances. I can actually cut wood with it. I've used that out in the field in the summer to run multiple fans, multiple cameras out on a shoot where I had no power, and it's amazing. The other thing is, in a power outage, the most important things to me are keeping my communication devices like my iPhone working. The second thing to me is the refrigerator and freezer. You can power one of those for probably a day or two. I think I was estimating the other night, showed 30, 40 hours I could work on that, my refrigerator and my freezer plugged into the back of that. So really efficient. But let me show you one that's a little bit smaller. This is called the EchoFlow Delta 2. This is a 1 kilowatt solar generator. Now, what's the big deal about it? Well, right now I have one of my video lights coming off of it using a USB-C. And also I am charging my iPhone. So that's kind of cool. But let me show you something. Let me turn this around a moment. You notice all the power plugs in the back, just like on the bigger one over there. There are quite a few power plugs, quite a few in the back. So I can power many things. And I can flip this up, bring in solar. Now, what's really cool, the big one over there that's powering all of my stuff now, I can bring in 1,000 watts of solar. That's 1,000 watts of solar panels. So you can imagine what that will power. And that's not huge, but it's pretty good. So again, this device right here is bigger than the smaller devices. I have another one over here. And they tell you how much it's using, how much power, and how much time you have left. These are really efficient. But that's how I keep things going. Now, for heat, I do something totally different. But I can keep everything powered. In fact, this thing can run the TV and keep things going, including this one. I have one right now up on my refrigerator and freezer. If you ask the question, why are you using these products from EchoFlow? They're the best. There's a lot of ones out there. There's a Jackery, there's Blue Yeti, there's many brands out there, but these have the best batteries. This has, it can go 3,000 cycles, meaning 10 years of powering it up and down use every day till the batteries go to 80%. Check them out, EchoFlow. Again, this one's called the River 3, and there's a River 3 Plus, which I think is a little bit better, or the EchoFlow Delta series, the Delta 2 or the Delta 2 Max. That's how I'll keep it going. It's well worth it.